channel. I'm Deborah and this is Stitch the Stash. Today is Sunday, February 10th, and I am joined by Chloe. I can barely see her on my screen because I have the bright light coming in, but there she is. Hopefully she'll stay there. Who knows? She's been coming to the window and chit-chattering with the birds, so she very well do that at some point, but we shall see. So how is everyone? I hope you're doing well. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for coming back. If this is your first time checking me out, I hope you enjoy. What have I been up to? Well, I have been up to a ton of stitching during the past 2 weeks. Particularly since February 1st, when I entered the World of School of Magical Stitches and Literature group on Facebook. I have been a stitching little fiend since February 1st. I have stitched every day except for one day. And I've actually kept track of how many stitches I've put in this month so far, and I'm quite pleased. So I will show you. I have a couple of finishes. I have several whips, one that does not have to do with magical stitches. The rest do. I have a lot to show to you today. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm just going to be looking down at my notes. I wanted to first of all thank everybody who has given me helpful suggestions for stitching and washing the fabric on my Haid project. I figured when it came to washing the grid out that I just didn't soak it long enough, and someone gave me the actual instructions that they received on how to wash out the grid, and I truly appreciate it, so thank you. I've also received some very helpful stitching tips on how to work with 1/1, how to stitch with the Krennic threads on 1/1, and the project has been in timeout since I last showed it to you, but it's going to be coming out hopefully later today when I restart it for the third time. I had been contemplating whether or not I wanted to do that, because I remember last time I told you that I was doing 2/1 with the Krennic and it was very bulky, and someone had mentioned to me, had commented to me that 1/1, just doing a half stitch with that, it's perfect. And unfortunately, it's so embedded in the few stitches I already have in there and I can't rip it out. So it's going to be started over for the, started for the third time, started over for the second time, and hopefully next time I will be able to have some successful progress for you on it. So thank you everyone for your comments and with your helpful suggestions. I really truly appreciate it. All right, and then I also want to thank Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy. I was watching her latest FlossTube video this morning as I was gathering my notes for filming today, and she gave me a shout out, and I was like, whoa, that's me. So thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate you giving my channel a little bit of a shout out. I love watching you. I love and adore you, and I look forward to meeting you at retreat in August. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so first of all, I want to go over my January stitching recap. I actually worked on a total of 7 whips, and of those 7 whips, I had 3 finishes in January, and I had 4 new starts for a total of 7. So I think that's pretty good. I know that February is going to be even better, but I'm happy. I have 3 small finishes. I got to start a couple, some new projects that I was interested in, and so I'm happy. So where am I with Stitch from Stash budget? Okay, so I started January with $25, right? And then I spent a total of $33.50. I did buy a couple patterns, which I will show you today. There is one that I am still waiting to receive. It has not arrived in the mail yet, so hopefully I will get that soon. Okay, so then also I had 3 finishes, and they were worth $5 each, so I had a $15 credit towards my budget. So what am I rolling over into February? I am rolling over $6.47. I'm very happy about that. I'm not in the negative, and I think I can do even better this month. I do have some February purchases that I will also show you today, but I'm hoping that I'm not in the negative yet with my budget for February, but I would like to get more finishes, some small finishes this month, so I can receive some more credits. So overall, I think January is very successful for me, and I look forward to seeing how February plays out. All right, so let's get into the stitching goodness here. Like I said, I had 2 finishes this month. Well, not this month, but since my last recording. And what are they? Well, first one is my Steotch group project. I finally finished my block. And I still have it. I have not been able to pass it on to the next recipient to finish her block, and hopefully that will happen soon, so then we can go ahead and get this off to Carmen, Broadway Stitcher. She's going to finish them for us. So here is my completed block. And hopefully while I was blabbering about this, I had already put in a picture of what it looked like before. And I am very happy this is done. That's a lot of back stitching, and for this being such a small project, I had a lot of issues. I had to do a lot of frogging. I evidently don't know how to count properly, but I do. I love this. These are going to be made into scissor fobs for us, and so then here is the whole project. I don't know what you're seeing, but hopefully you can see it. There we go. Yep. So hopefully I can hand this off to the next individual pretty soon. So I finished that on January 27th, and I believe that's just a 32 count white Lugana fabric. All right, so I had one more finish. And that finish is Lizzie Kate, I Can Drive a Stick pattern. This was a Stitch Mania start. And I picked it back up this past fall. I am inserting a picture of what it looked like the last time I showed you, just so you could see how much I had left to do. This is being stitched on, well, this was stitched on a 28 count Lugana dyed by Picture This Plus, and it is called the colorway Ale. And this is the finish. Whoops. This simple looking little stitch gave me a lot of issues. Again, evidently I don't know how to count, because I've had to do practically this whole project was frogged and restitched, and there's still issues with it, but unless I point them out to you, you will never know. I can live with the issue that is in there. It's just a counting spacing issue. But I stitched this enough to where I probably could have had 2 finishes. But I'm very happy to have it done. Even got my initials in there. And I finished this on January 30th. Love it. I think I might do a flat fold finish or a small pillow finish. I'm not sure yet. I don't know when that will happen. Hopefully this year, but we'll see. All right, so my next project that I decided to, we're now into whips. The next project I worked on is Coming to Town Santa 11 by Lizzie Kate. Love this. I started this for the Coming to Town sale with Snug Harbor Crafts, Deb and Kef. We started this on Thanksgiving Day. I put a few stitches in it and then put it to the side, picked it back up, put some more stitches. Here's what it looked like the last time I showed it to you. The fabric is an 18 count Aida. Picture this plus, and the colorway is Cherub, and this is where I'm at. I'm really happy. I finished the beard, the face. I do need to put his eyes in, so he looks a little creepy right now, and I'm working on finishing his hat. This is one of the ones I'm hoping to get finished sooner than later. Even though Christmas is my most favorite holiday, I'm a little bit over stitching Christmas right now, stitching winter right now, and there's really not that much left to do on this. I don't see why I couldn't knock it out. And I do have the embellishment pack to finish this, put the buttons, and I think there's a button that goes there. Yeah, super cute. Love the fabric. Again, picture this plus. That's my back. Picture this plus. Cherub. All right. So now we enter the magical world of Harry Potter and the magical stitching. So like I said, I decided to join everybody else that had been raving about it. I signed up probably like the last 2 days of January. Technically, I could have joined in if I wanted to stitch that week's homework. It was putting 300 stitches in a project, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to rush it because I think I only had one night after work to do it. So I decided I will wait until February 1st starts. And I actually, looking for my notes, I actually worked on 7 projects for School of Magical Stitching and Literature. And what were those projects? All right, the first project was for year 2, week 1 homework. We had to rescue a whip from prison. Any project that we had put in prison, put in timeout for whatever reason. And I chose Alice by Brooke's Books Publishing. And I put her in prison. I believe I shared with you in my whip parade when I showed the very small progress that I had, that when I went to work on it, after it had been sitting for, I don't know, a week or so, I realized that my yellow floss was, my white floss, excuse me, had yellowed. And I didn't know if the current white stitches I had in the project were already yellowed and discolored too, and I didn't know if I wanted to frog them and put them back in. So I was so indecisive. I was so frustrated that my white floss was yellow, and I put it in timeout, therefore prison. But I rescued it. So we had to put in 300 stitches for our homework assignment. I put in 361 stitches. All right, and before I show it to you, I also used Alice for week 2 homework, and we were making polyjuice potion, and there's 7 ingredients, and for each ingredient we had to stitch 100 stitches. And I chose Alice because we had to stitch something with grass. And Alice and all the other lovely little characters are standing on grass in this. So you had to put in 100 stitches, and I put in 106 stitches for that. So this is a picture of where it was last time you saw it. I am stitching this on 28 count Lugana. The color is denim. And this is where I'm at today. I finished the checkerboard pieces for the Rescue from Prison challenge, and then I put in all the grass. Well, this line here was already partially done, so I finished that off, and then I started putting in the little grass to finish off my stitching requirement. And I tell you what, guys, I'm really happy that I got to pick this back up. And I did not rip out the previous white stitches. I just left them, and they look fine to me, and we're just going to move forward from that. So I'm super happy with that. So I ended up putting in a total of 467 stitches on that project, just for 2 homework assignments. I'm pretty pleased. All right, the next project I chose was for week 2 homework. It was another ingredient, and we had to stitch on something that was dark fabric or a night scene. So this project met that requirement. And then I'm also stitching it for February extra credit. We had to pick something that was sluggish. And I chose this because it is stitched on black fabric, and I have to use it with daylight, magnified white light. That's the only way I can see on it. So what is it? I chose Tribal Cat by White Willow Stitching. This was also a Stitch Mania 18 start, and it has been sitting in my whip pile since May. I worked on it one day, and I haven't touched it since. And there's a picture of where it was the last time I showed it, which would have been in my whip parade. I am stitching this on, again, I believe it's a 28 count Joblin in black, and this is where I'm at now. Lots of progress has been achieved on this. I love it. The thread fabric, the thread color I am using is the DMC variegated floss, and the color is number 69. I love it. I love the earth tone feel of it with the oranges and peaches and rust. Love it. All right, so for the homework, we had to put in 100 stitches. I put in 189. And for the February extra credit, we had to put in 500 stitches, and I put in 501 for that assignment. So I put in a total of 690 stitches. I'm impressed. I'm pleased. I'm loving working on this again, and I cannot wait to get it done. So there's that project. And this is the floss. Yeah. Love, 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 love. Yeah. All right. The next project is another February extra credit, and we had to stitch on a project with words, and we had to put in 500 stitches. So what did I choose? I chose Lizzie Kate's Cat Lessons for People. Oh, I love this. This was also a Stitch Mania start in 2018. The last time you saw it, I only had a little kitty butt. Had not touched it since May of last year. All right, I am stitching this on 18 count Ada in Vintage Country Mocha, and this is where we're at. I still have the little kitty butt. But I have some words now. When a hiss will do. Listen. I love this. these words are going to stitch up super fast. I have to put in 500 stitches, and I have, I believe right now, like 260. Let's see, 250. 250, well, what this will do is 250 stitches for sure. I haven't counted the bottom here in my total stitch count for this month, so my stitch count is going to be a little bit higher. But I have until the end of February to finish this extra credit, so it will get done. All right. Then I worked on, this is for this week's homework. We had to stitch on something that flies. I chose Stitchrovia butterflies. Oh, I love this pattern. I love the colors. This is also a Stitch Mania 2018 start. I started it. I think there was only one other day that I put in just a few stitches on it, and I haven't touched it since. This is where it was at the last time I showed you. The fabric is a 32 count Lugana, and it is in the color Bittersweet Light, and this is where I'm at. I'm just trying to see if we can get the color of the fabric. It's a very mottled peachy fabric. I love it. So all this right here is what I put in for the homework assignment. We had to put in 100 stitches. I put in 327 because I could not put it down. Love it. It's so pretty. That is half of a butterfly. I love it. I look forward to spending more time on these projects. All right. Then for another homework assignment, this week we had to stitch on something with skin. And I chose my Nora Corbett Geranium. Love her. The last time I showed it to you, I had just started her and was super excited to pick her up again. This is where I was at the last time I showed it to you. I am stitching it on 28 count cashel linen dyed by Silk Weaver. The color is Cinnamon Roll. And let me just, this is where we're at. Oh, I love her. This is her wing, and I started putting in her dress. And right here is skin. I didn't have to stitch on the skin. I just had to stitch on a project that contains skin. And I have a question for all of you who have stitched on projects with skin, particularly Nora Corbett Mirabilias. On the pattern right here is where I stitched, and there is a quarter stitch on the dress and a quarter stitch on the skin. All right, now the back stitching, as you can see, the back stitching, there's back stitching that goes between those two quarter stitches. Now, normally when I've done quarter stitches in the past, I do the half, the little quarter stitch, and then I do the diagonal half stitch to finish it. I couldn't figure out if I did the finishing of the half stitch with the dress or finishing the half stitch with the skin. I just did the quarter stitch. I didn't put in the half stitch to finish it off on the dress. I was thinking that it should be with the skin. Let me know what you've done. I'd be interested to see, because I was just like, trying to figure it out, and I just did my best educated guess on it and decided that, yeah, see, they're right there. There's two of them right there. I only did the little quarter stitch. I didn't finish it off. So let me know. Please let me know what you would do. All right, so I had to put in 100 stitches, and I put in 230 stitches. Oh, can't wait to have her finished. All right, then I worked on a February extra credit assignment. We had to stitch on something that contained a scary animal. And I didn't have any current whips that fell into that category. We could stitch on a black cat because of the superstition that goes with black cats. And I thought maybe I could have used tribal cat for that, even though the original pattern has a stitch in black and I'm not, but no, I decided not to. I went ahead and pulled out a new start. And I believe when I went over my 2019 plans, I showed this pattern that this was something I wanted to start this year. And so I did. It is Madame Chantilly's. The translation is, I want a black cat. So cute. And I chose this because of the spiders. There is one in each corner. Well, except for down here. But there's one here. There's one here. And look at this black cat that's half black, half white. Look at that tail. Oh my goodness. That's going to be interesting to stitch. Okay. I am stitching it on a 32 count Belfast linen. And the color is Stormy Night. And this is where I'm at. Oh. I have 3 spiders and the border, which I think it's the spider web. I really enjoyed stitching on this. It's going to stitch super fast, I think. I put in a couple hours worth of work here, and I had to put in 200 stitches, and I ended up putting in a total of 413 stitches. And I believe 215 of those stitches are just the spiders. Love it. And it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Why do pictures always make them look bigger? Cute. Maybe. Well, it's 159 by 98 stitches. What did she stitch this on? Do I have that information here? No, I do not. I don't know if it was done on a 28 count, so therefore it looks bigger. I don't know. Kind of like, you know, when you see movies and TV shows and the sets look huge, and then when you get the opportunity to see the set, you're like, wow, it's much smaller in real life. All right, so that is I Want a Black Cat. Then my final whip was for this week's homework. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. And no, excuse me, it's not for this week's homework. It is for February extra credit. And we had to stitch on a project, put 500 stitches in on a project that is howling for our attention. And so what project could possibly be howling for attention? Ships Manor, fall into winter. Fan favorite. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. There is a picture of where it was the last time I showed it to you. I am stitching this on 32 count Belfast linen. It is dyed by Ships Manor and the color is Mummy Wraps. And where are we? Well, we are right here. I have only put in 189 of the 500 stitches. And they are all right here in this snowflake. Very pretty. I love it. When I put in the rest of the stitches, it's going to be a lot more progress because I started counting. And quite a few stitches will be added to this. I love it. It was definitely howling for attention. And I worked on it last night, so it hadn't been touched since the last time I showed it to you. All right, since I'm sitting here, I want to talk about these. I get a lot of questions, and I thought that I would mention again that these clips right here, you can purchase them. I purchased them and the Velcro from Joann's. And these clips are put out by Dritz. They're called Suspender / Mitten clips. They come 2 to a package. I, however, have found them on Amazon. You can buy them in a package of 8 for $10. I believe I paid $4 something for 2. I will put the link down below from Amazon, so if you're interested in them. And then the Velcro is just a roll of Velcro. I believe it is 3/4 inch wide. It is a 12-foot roll. I found that also on Amazon, and I believe it was for, looking at my notes, I wrote it down, $5.97 on Amazon. So I will go ahead and put the links to them on Amazon. Again, you can purchase them in Joann's. I'm sure you can find them in Walmart. But they are mitten clips, and I love them because they put tension on my ends of my fabric, especially when it's not so bad, because this is a 15-inch rod, but I have ones that go to 31, like my Alice. It was on a 31-inch rod, and it definitely needed the extra clip support at the end. Love it. Okay, so that is that. And that is all of my stitching for the past 2 weeks. Now, how many stitches did I put in my projects total this month? Just since February 1st, just the first week and couple days of magical stitches, I have put in 2,566 stitches. In the first 10 days, because I did stitch a little bit this morning, of February. I'm very, very happy. I'm so happy that I joined Magical Stitches, just for the simple fact that it's given me a fun way to think about what I'm currently working on and pull it out and put anywhere from 100, 200, 300, 500 stitches in it. And I touched all these whips because of that, and I'm loving it. I'm having fun. I was sorted in Team Hufflepuff house, and I'm just gonna do all the stitching that I can. I am not participating in the reading assignments and extra credit. I love to read, and my goal is to read 40 books this year, but I don't want to put pressure on myself for like doing literature extra credits or homework assignments. So I'm just doing it for the stitching part, and I'm having fun with it. So I know I'm not the only person to have talked about it. I was late to the party, and I'm glad I have joined in. All right, so that is all my stitching. What is next? I have purchases, right? And let me go ahead and get situated, get sorted, and I will be right back. I had mentioned that I purchased a couple of patterns in January using my January budget. And I told you in my last video that I would show them to you in this video because I was still waiting on the physical patterns to show up. And like I said, I have purchased another physical pattern, but I haven't received it yet. But let me go ahead and show you what I do have. I purchased from Caterpillar Cross Stitch Adventure Awaits. And I had seen this on another FlossTube channel, Lady Wing Designs, Zakia. She was stitching this, and I fell in love with it. My husband and I do love to travel. We have traveled through Europe twice now on 2 3-week backpacking trips. And we've done quite a bit of travel here in the United States from coast to coast. And I thought this would be a really adorable piece to add to my travel stitching. So I'm happy that I got that. When I will start it, I do not know. All right, so then I was on Etsy, and I was browsing by the Bay Needle Art Etsy shop. And I came across a pattern that if you purchased it, you got a second pattern for free included. And I really loved the free pattern. Now, the pattern you purchase is adorable, but I loved the free pattern. So what is that? If you purchased Gigi's Garden, and she's really cute and adorable, and I will stitch her. I will probably change the purples to pinks because pink is my favorite color. But I love the red hair. I think she's adorable. I will stitch her. But if I purchase this, I got this pattern for free, and it's called Think Spring. Oh, I love everything about her. I love the orange hair. I love the floral headdress, the bee, the butterfly. This screams spring. Spring is now. Spring needs to happen. This will be stitched this year. I love her. So I purchased that pattern to get this pattern. Love it. I do have another By the Bay Needle Art pattern waiting to come. I haven't received it yet. I had purchased both of these, well, these patterns I just showed you, and then the one that's waiting to come like a day apart, and so they were mailed in 2 separate packages. And I received these 2 patterns just the other day. It took over 2 weeks to get to me. I haven't received the second one yet. It all happened, got mailed out during the polar vortex and massive amounts of snow, and so I know post offices were closed down. We were hoping it was still going to show up. It hasn't. I've reached out to Donna, and she is making everything good. So hopefully next time I will have the next one to show you because I absolutely love it, and it will be stitched this year. All right, so those were my January purchases. what else do I have? I have my Color and Cotton latest flosses, and these ones are the Brights. Oh, I love this mustard color. And it's very true to color on screen. All right. This is Vintage Valentine, Tuscan Sun, and La Peace. Beautiful. Then I have the neutrals. This is Americano. This is Brass. And this is Primitive Vines. Ah, I love this green. Oh, these are beautiful, true to color. And then I also have it's a mixture between the brights and the neutrals. This is Pale Violet, which you can see the purple variegation in this. This is Emerald. Oh, love this color. And then this is Mango, which a very soft yellow. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So those were my Color and Cotton thread clubs. Then I also received my fabric of the month from Under the Sea Fabrics. I get a 32 count linen, and the color this month is called Nessie. And let's see. It's this beautiful blue-green. That's pretty accurate. Love it, love it, love it. It's gorgeous. I love it. Don't know what I'll put on it. But it's beautiful. All right. What else do I have? I have, because I can't stop, Love You More Studio did their Pink Week sale, right? And so I had to purchase a couple. The first one is Butterfly Effect Sleeve. Can you see how happy this makes me? It has a beautiful pink butterfly motif fabric inside. Gorgeous. And then I purchased the Sweetheart Plaid Snuggle. This fabric is just so soft. Both of these are the standard size. And then inside is these arrows. These pretty teal blue arrows. I love this. Yeah. Pink is my favorite color. I know I've said that already today. But I love it. These butterflies are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I've controlled myself. I haven't purchased any more. I do want to do a special order for a Kindle size, because I actually do want to put my Kindle in one. All right. Then I had some Christmas money burning in my pocket. And again, I was perusing Etsy, and I came across this bag from So Much to Love, and it had my name all over it, so I purchased it. It is. Look at that calico. Oh my goodness. This is the back. Look at all these kitties. They're adorable. And that is Shanna. Oh my goodness. A little grumpy. Little grumpy. But I love it. And then the inside has colorful kitty paws. Adorable. And this is a nice one because it expands. You can fit a 11 by 11 Q-snap inside, but I had to have it. And this is adorable because, you know, Chloe's a calico. And here she comes. Do you want to come here? Yes, come here. Come here. Come here. You want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? Oh, do you? No? Come here. Come on. You were sleeping so nicely. You were sleeping so nicely. Okay. All right. Then I purchased one last bag from Diddly Daddle Designs. She put this up on her Instagram. I fell in love with it, so I had to get it. It is, this is the front. It's a Charles Wysocki scene, and even though I'm over winter, I fell in love with it. And she has this, her traditional button zipper pull, zipper finder, and the inside fabric is this gray polka dot fabric. Love it. All right. Then the final, she's sitting on top of my stitching pile, which has, no, I can move. I can move it just for her because she's being so good. She just wants to be close to me. All right, so I purchased for February a couple of patterns. The first one is, I saw this being stitched by Rach from Rara Realms here on FlossTube, and she has been working on it in January, and every time she shows it, I'm like, I need this, so I bought it. The pattern's called Sophia from Summer House Stitchworks. Look at the gorgeous owl. I love the colors. I love the owl. I thought long and hard about purchasing it, and I said, I have to have it. Owls have a very special significance in my life. The second trip to Europe, no, it was the second trip to Europe that my husband and I went on. We were in Sorrento, Italy, and we were going on a adventurous walk, and we walked through town, and there was this woodworking shop that it was closed, but there was a window with a display, and there was this wooden owl that had like a little baby owl nested in the center of it, and you could push out the baby owl, and we fell in love with it. The store was closed, so it was like, okay, not meant to be, and I don't know if we'll ever go back to Sorrento, so we just carried on with our adventurous walk, had a wonderful afternoon. We ended up finding a local hidden beach that had, you could go swimming, and you could have lunch. It was a little hidden gem that if you had to be local there to know it. We were just following people and came across this amazing little local find of a place. So anyway, on our way back, we walked back through town because we had to take the train back to Naples, and the store was open, and everyone was just closed for lunch, and we were able to purchase it. So then when we went on to Florence on our trip, we were just doing some window shopping, walking around through the city, and we came across another marble owl. My husband fell in love with that, so we purchased that. And then on our adventures through even traveling here in the U.S., when we come across owls, we purchased them. And when we went to Maine, Mount Desert Island for a week 2 years ago, we went into a couple of local artist consignment shops and found a couple additional little owl pieces to add to our collection. So this I love. And I do actually have more owl pieces in my stash to stitch. But this one is going to be stitched this year. Because I think I have the perfect fabric for it. And I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, so bear with me. I have this coloring cotton. It is a Jaslyn, and it is called Sea Glass. And I just think it's showing up a little bit more blue. Let me see if I have put it up against some white. Close. But these are the 4 threads, the 4 DMC colors that you stitch the pattern, of course, and I think I like how it looks against this green fabric, and the screen is showing up more blue, but it is definitely a sea glass green. I think that will be gorgeous. So this will be stitched this year, and I almost used this for a Magical Stitches homework assignment where we had to stitch something on a project that we were enabled by someone else to purchase or to stitch, and this is definitely one of them, but I decided, since I already had one new start for this, that I would use a current whip, which I fortunately have something I'm stitching on that someone else had enabled me to start. And I'll show that in my next video because I didn't work on it yet. All right. If you hear Chloe, she's talking to the birds. She's right over here. She's wide-eyed talking to the birds. All right. And then another pattern I purchased, which I originally saw when I was in Needleworker's Delight in January, and it is one of the projects that I put back. But then I decided when I saw it again on 123 Stitch, I had to have it. It is Heartstring Samplery, C is for Coffee. I love this. I am thinking I'm going to use some of my Coloring Cotton and Victorian Motto threads. Do my own little conversion of this. And it's not going to say C is for Coffee. It's going to say C is for Cocoa. Because I don't drink coffee. I know, people find it shocking. I do not drink coffee, but I drink hot chocolate. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. Alrighty. That is all of my purchases and my little tangent of traveling. So what is next? I wanted to do some shout outs. I haven't done them in a while, and I feel the desire to do them. The first shout out is to someone that I stumbled across not too long ago. She has 4 videos out. She's new, and the channel is Rachel's Stitching Corner. I absolutely adore her. She has a love for full coverage, for Hades. She has 2 adorable, crazy kitties that we get to see in her 3rd video. And I even think maybe in her 2nd video, but definitely her 3rd video. And, you know, being a 2 crazy kitty mama here, I adored watching them. So please go check her out. She just put out her 4th video. I need to sit and watch it, but her work is beautiful. She's a fairly new stitcher, and she's also a student, and in her first video, she shows you this Disney castle, and I just adore her. So please go check her out. Give her some love. The next person I want to shout out is the Daily Mel. Her name is Melissa, and I adore her simply because not only is she a cross stitcher, but she's also a paper crafter, and that's where her channel originally started, as a paper crafter. She makes gorgeous cards. I'm a paper crafter myself. I'm a scrapbooker. I have attempted to make cards. I'm not very good at it. Hers are stunning. But she has one video out, and she goes through her whips, and she has mirabilias. She has this one kimono piece that is with all specialty stitches. Gorgeous. So go check her out, the Daily Mel. Mel, M-E-L. Then I watched ECLECTIC Reads. His name is Sean. His channel started as a booktube channel, and he still does booktube videos, but he's also decided to venture into the FlossTube world, and I was very excited for him that he decided to shoot a video. And he is a fairly new cross-stitcher, and he shares his story with you, which I can relate to, and I'm so happy that he is cross-stitching, following something that he loves, and he's now making videos about it. What is it with these new stitchers that dive right into full coverage and absolutely love it? And I think it's amazing. So go check him out. Then, of course, I've already mentioned her once, but I want to mention her again. Her name is Zakia, and she is Lady Wing Designs. She started her channel as a knitting podcast, and of course, I'm a knitter, love it. But I found her when she put out her FlossTube, and I think she has 6 or 7 videos out now. But love her stitching. She's in Alabama. She's a student. She is doing this full coverage Hogwarts castle piece that is amazing. Amazing. So go check her out. And then finally, I watched the Sunshine Stitchers. EJ, Gary, and Shelia. I don't know what took me so long. I've heard shout outs for them before, but I finally watched their latest video, which I actually think they have a newer one out since I've watched, and they had me laughing, smiling, and just enjoying the day when I watched them. Love them. So glad I've subscribed and going to continue to watch them. I need to go back and watch the back catalog. So, all right. So those are all my shout outs for this week. I will link all the channels below, and I hope that you will go check them out if you haven't, and give them a like and subscribe to them. I know how much I love hearing that, you know, someone else has shouted me out, and so please, if anyone has shouted me out, please let me know, because I would like to give you the opportunity to thank you. It really means a lot to me. So, all right, so those are all my shout outs. All right, so now it's time for my 200 plus subscriber giveaway. As a reminder, I showed you my last video that I would be giving away a little prize package for reaching 200 subscribers, and I am giving you Fall into Winter Ships Manor pattern. I am giving you all of the threads. You're getting 2 of each color, and you will need 2 of each color depending on the fabric that you choose, the size. And you are also getting the needle minder as part of the prize. I had 42 comments for entering. All you had to say was that you wanted to stitch Fall into Winter and tell me why. Even if you just mentioned Fall into Winter, I went ahead and entered you into the giveaway. Like I said, I had 42 entries. And as I received your comment, I put you on the list. So you are listed on my sheet right here, all 42 of you, in the order that you commented. And this morning, I put everybody into the random org generator and selected my winner, and I did a little video of that for you, and I'm going to enter that right here.
Hi everybody, I am here to pick the 200 plus subscriber thank you giveaway winner. I had a total of 42 subscribers who are interested in the fall into winter prize pack. And I have put everybody's name in a nice little Excel sheet, and I'm going to randomly generate the winner. So here we go. You can see I have 1 to 42, and let's go ahead and select our winner. Number 11, let's see. Country Tapestry, congratulations, you are our winner. I'm looking forward to getting the Fall into Winter prize pack out to you, and congratulations again.
All right, so congratulations, Country Tapestry. I'm so excited to get this package off to you. All I need you to do is to give me your mailing address information. Please email it to me at stitchthestash@gmail.com. It is listed down in the description below. So if you go ahead and email me with your contact information, I will get this package in the mail to you. So congratulations. I'm so excited to be able to give this to you. All right, so that is it. Chloe's right here. Come here, baby. Come here. No? Okay. That is it. What is my plans? Well, my husband is in Greece right now. He left last night at 11:55 p.m. He's in Greece handling some family stuff. So I have the house to myself for the next week. It's just me and the cats, and waking up at 4 a.m. because one particular kitty just needs attention at 4 a.m. and it's not the one that's out here with me. So I am hoping to get a lot more stitching done this week. I'm going to continue with whatever the magical stitches assignments are. I will work on whips as I can fit them into the homework. I know that I have my January sampler that I would like to finish. I'm also thinking about the Fa La La ornament from Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage Needleworks. I can't remember right at the moment. I want to finish that. I want to get a couple finishes in this weekend because I need some budget. All right, so lots of stitching. I'm hoping to maybe get some sewing done, or at least cutting out some fabric so I can make some project bags. I don't know. We shall see what the next couple weeks bring. I should be back in 2 weeks. I'm thinking maybe I'll be back next weekend. My husband does not come back until next Saturday evening. Probably will not be back here at the house until like 11:30 at night. So I'm thinking maybe, depending on how much stitching I have done this week, I might record next weekend too. Because, you know, next Saturday, I'm staying in my pajamas. I'm staying cuddled up with the kitties, and I'm going to be doing stitching. So maybe I can do a video too. Who knows? All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful stitchy week, and I will talk to you later. Happy stitching. Bye.